Do you want to stay longer in Thailand? In this video, I will give you my experience with my border runs this year. So let me give you a little bit of context here. I had an ED visa before and this ran out. I think it was in January. So I had to do border runs or get a new visa. But for me, it was the easiest to do a border run. And I never did it before. So I decided in January to do my first ever border run by land. So this year in 2025, I did a total of 3 border runs. The first in January, as I said before. The second was in April, was also by land. And then the last one I did a week ago. I came back to Thailand a week ago. For the 2 border runs by land, I went to Chiang Khong border, which is in the north of Thailand. I live in Chiang Mai, so it was convenient to go there. It was an easy 6-hour bus ride to go to this border in the north, and it's right the border to Laos. Obviously, it only makes sense to go to this border when you live in the north of Thailand. But I will also tell you my experience when I re-entered by air in Bangkok, Suvarnabhumi airport. So I booked the bus ticket. It was about 300 baht, takes you 6 hours to go to Chiang Khong border. You arrive at the border, you arrive at the bus station in Chiang Khong. You switch to a pickup or tuk-tuk type of thing for 50 or 100 baht. They drive you to the border. You will enter the border. You pay around $40 for the visa, for the Laos visa. I think it was 30 days. I'm a German passport holder. And you need a picture, like a photo. I think they also can do one for you. You have to fill out some documents and you're good to go. You can pay with dollar, Thai baht or kip. This goes for immigration or also for the border town on the Laos side. Everywhere you can pay with US dollar, with Laos kip and with Thai baht. Once you on the other side and you entered Laos, there are some pickup trucks. I think this was about 100 baht, and they drive you to this town, this border town in Laos, which is I think 15 or 20 minute ride. And I booked a day in advance, 500 baht for the room. Other people didn't book, but it's easy to go. You can just enter. You can just arrive in this border town and without pre-booking get a room there. So arrived in the border town. There's not much to do. It's one street, a few restaurants, a few hotels, hostels, and that's it. Prices for Laos, the prices are expensive, but they are pretty much similar to what we know from Thailand. It's most meals or snacks there was about 50,000 to 70,000 kip, some more expensive, some cheaper. Which I think 50,000 kip is about $2.30. Yeah, it's still a border town, so it's more expensive, but compared to Western prices, still cheap. So once you checked in, it's late in the afternoon. I think it was 4 p.m. or even later, and the day is almost done. You go to eat, you maybe check out the town a little bit, and that's it. I stayed 2 nights because at that time, it was not very clear. It is if 1 night is enough, if you have to stay 2 nights. One guy I train Muay Thai with, he had a multiple entry tourist visa and he re-entered. He only did 1 night, but they almost didn't let him in because usually they ask for 2 nights. And if you don't have a visa and you get visa on arrival, in my case, you definitely need 2 days. And I wouldn't take the risk because they definitely tighten the requirements. So the next day there's some French fortress, as you can see in the video. There's a bit to see, but when you visit the fortress, you probably walk around 15 to 20 minutes up to the fortress, up a hill. So in 30 minutes you saw the whole thing. They have some old airplanes standing there, jail cells, whatsoever. There's a cafe, restaurant where you can sit, eat, drink, whatsoever, drink coffee, and also work. I was working there all day, so I stayed almost So I stayed almost the whole day in this cafe, and then you go back and your hotel can book you a ride. And that's it. There's not much to do. And the next day you already go back. So after the second night, you go back to Thailand. The lady of the hotel, she booked me a taxi to the border. It was only me, no one else. And I think my second border run, I booked a minivan, which drove me to Chiang Rai because I wanted to visit Chiang Rai. So this option also exists. Anyways, you go to the border and you want to re-enter. Let's talk about the documents they asked for. So when I came back to the border to re-enter Thailand, the first thing they checked was if I stayed 2 nights outside the country. They take that very seriously. And they did this with both land border runs. The other thing they are asking for, they checking the airplane ticket. You need an airplane ticket outside of the country. I booked mine less than 60 days to leave. All 3 border runs, whether it was land or air, they are checking the airplane tickets. And at that time, when I did the land border runs, there were no arrival card. So you didn't have to fill out an arrival card. They do ask for accommodation address, a proof of accommodation address and TM30. I didn't have a proof of accommodation, not in the form of a booking. I had TM30 and I had a rental contract, a lease contract. So, and the airplane tickets, there was enough. I was good to go. There is also information out that they check if you have money. Like it says 10,000 baht on a document. It's actually this document where it says, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's not really good quality, but it says 10,000 baht. But they never checked if I have 10,000 baht. But they definitely check the airplane ticket and TM30/accommodation. And of course, if you stay 2 nights outside of Thailand. And I forgot to mention, I had a person in front of me on one of the border runs by land who got rejected. I think it was the first border run, and he said he always did it this way. He only had a card of the hotel and the hotel name, but he had not confirmation of booking. And I don't know if he had an airplane ticket, but they rejected him. So they take that seriously. So I advise you guys to check updated requirements, because they just updated requirements and now they are also asking for the digital arrival card, which were before you got a paper document, which were called the TM6, I think. Keep going forward. Talking about my re-enter in Thailand, talk about my re-enter to Thailand last week by air, because I almost got rejected. So I had all documents. I always have documents on point. I never overstayed any visa. Anyways, let's go forward to my re-enter by air in Bangkok last week. So I left the country about 10 days ago. I went to Vietnam for 3 days and then I came back through Suvarnabhumi airport. I had also all documents on point. I had an airplane ticket outside of the country in less than 60 days. TM30, I had my lease contract, I had the digital arrival card and obviously my passport. But this time she told me that I should not travel like that, because it was the 3rd border run this year, and in the digital arrival card I wrote sports, because you have to tell them why you are coming to Thailand. And as I train Muay Thai, I wrote sports, and she said those border runs are for traveling, and if no one told me that there is DTV visa and that I should have a DTV visa for this type of visit, as I stay longer term and not just for 2 or 3 months as seen in my passport. So she said to me I should not do it this way, and told me she will make a note in the system type that she told me that I should have a DTB visa. So that maybe would make it harder to do another border run next year. I don't know. But it's also not really my aim to do border runs and constantly do border runs. I did it this year because it was convenient. I never did it before, so I was like, yeah, why not doing it? I can see some other country. Okay, Laos, a border town, is not really much something to see. But anyways, I decided to do it this way. I anyway didn't plan on becoming a border run traveler now. Yeah, and this is just for you guys to have as an information. So they take it seriously. They definitely tighten the regulations. And I'm not complaining, because I think it's good that not anyone can just do what they want, and there's some order. And there are also enough visas. But this is just for information purposes, this video, so that maybe some of you who do their first or second border run and only want to say short term or never did border runs and want to use it in this way, here you go, the information. And I forgot to mention that it doesn't really make a difference if you enter Thailand in Bangkok or, for example, in Chiang Mai. Because there were always the information out that it's easier to enter in Chiang Mai if you come from outside the country and go through immigration compared to Bangkok. Bangkok is more stricter. I know now, in the past few months, that multiple people I train Muay Thai with who entered in Chiang Mai, they got questioned the same way they did in Bangkok. So it doesn't really make a difference anymore if you enter in Chiang Mai, if you enter in Bangkok. And I don't know how it is in Phuket, but I wouldn't count on that there's a difference. We are coming to the end of this video. This was my experience with my border runs. I hope the information helps some of you guys. So if you are designing your life in Thailand, border runs are part of it. If you know the rules, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. That's it. And I want to just mention one thing about this channel. I will not be the next travel YouTube channel or travel Thailand YouTube channel, because I do like Thailand. I have a lot of information about Thailand. I'm living in Thailand a total of more than 4 years with some short breaks, but it's not really what draws me in. But what really draws me in, what really interests me, is to become a better version of myself, even though it sounds so generic and we heard that a million times from self-development channels. But it's more the struggle, the experience I have with this, and how to get better and how to be more efficient in what I do and how to work myself through the struggle, and telling from experience. That's what really interests me, including emotional intelligence, including introspection about life. Literally what the channel more or less says about by design. Design your life, design yourself, design your mind. And I believe this is a way to have a great life. So if you're interested in this, then give me a follow. And if you came only here for the border run, that's fine too. Have a great day, guys.